What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Mike Malarkey, aka King Moses. I'm on my King Moses shit yet again. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in. It's another video just talking about the game and just a lot of the fuckery that's going on in it, man. And you know, the first video that I made, I was talking about simping and just kind of breaking down. I don't know if I broke it down what it is, what it means, but yeah, I mean, just simping, in my opinion, is just, you know what I mean, doing the most for trying to get attention for a woman and pussy specifically, you feel what I'm saying, where you don't have to do that, you feel what I'm saying, you could just be yourself. You don't have to go above and beyond to do all this dumb shit like spend unnecessary money and time and, you know what I mean, doing all this shit, being in the friend zone with a bitch or whatever, to get with a girl in a relationship, or you just getting some pussy or whatever, you feel what I'm saying? So I was talking about Dr. Boyce Watkins' punk ass and his simping ways, and how he's trying to spread the simping virus out here. So you know what I mean, I was thinking about some other shit because I'm seeing on Twitter and the news blogs or whatever about these niggas tricking, man. So is it, the question that everybody always asks is it, you know, is it tricking if you really got it? You know what I mean? So, you know, they hit them with them rap songs, well, it ain't tricking if you got it, and all this shit. And then what does that mean? Because there's always a gray area on what's considered tricking and what's considered just, you know, being in a higher class as far as money and what you able to do with your money and all this other shit. You feel what I'm saying? And the fucked up part is, whether you want to have your definition on whether it's tricking or not, or you just got money, you can splurge or whatever, you got a lot of these people that don't have it wanting to be that person or wanting to be around these people, whatever, and they might not be able to get it on a regular basis, or, you know what I mean, they hooked up with one person one time that had it, and then they expect everybody they encounter to be on that type of tip, and that just don't make sense unless, you know what I mean, you bringing something to the table to attract yourself to those type of people. But in my opinion, I think it is tricking even if you got it. It just all depends. There's preferences and shit like that or whatever, you know what I mean? So I mean, you gotta break it down, whether you're talking about dating or you talking about just fucking, you just out here in the streets or whatever, doing what you do, whatever, you feel what I'm saying? It's a fucking, it's a thin line. But overall, when people be using it, specifically niggas be using it in the term that they talking about tricking, and it is tricking. And one of the things that popped up on my radar is this whole thing about flying bitches out, right? And it just seems like this comes from a lot of entertainers and celebrities that be doing this shit. I think it's tricking because I just don't make much sense to, even if you got it, right? And everybody says like, oh yeah, well, it's easy to say when you ain't in that situation or in that position, right? So I'm not an entertainer, I'm not a celebrity, but I know that if I were a celebrity and based on my background and I had celebrity, I would not be flying bitches out. Like, if I was on that type of shit, it would be a pleasure for a woman to be around me. And, you know what I mean, if you want to be coming from out of town and meet me where I'm at or whatever, then, you know what I mean, you should be trying to link up, do what you need to do to come meet me. I shouldn't be having to come fly you out and pay for a hotel room for you to stay so you can get a free room and board to go do what you want to do, whatever, and hopefully I'll be able to get some or whatever. You know, it just don't make much sense. Like, if I'm popping like that or whatever, like, you should be trying to be on some groupie shit and be like, oh, I'm doing what I need to do to get in the mix. You feel what I'm saying? And when we all together, whatever, you feel what I'm saying? And that's different. Now, you know what I mean? Niggas always say stuff about buying drinks in the club for bitches or whatever. Like, that's tricking, in my opinion. But, you know, if you're an entertainer and you got bottles at the table, whatever, that's different. You know what I mean? Like, you might not even be drinking, but just like, whatever, you got it. So it's not even like you buying it for the bitches, but you might just be buying it just for the people around you, whatever, just to stunt. I don't know, you feel what I'm saying? But that's a gray area right there. You feel what I'm saying? But this whole flying bitches out shit, like, this shit is just crazy and amazing to me, whatever. And it seems like more of these gypsy bitches are being empowered and enabled to, like, expect niggas to fly them out. And I'm just in regular groups or whatever where you see these memes about flying bitches out, and then they talking about they finesse a nigga, and then all this shit happens where, well, what's the expectation for why would you expect somebody to come out or whatever and fuck and we just friend? Like, this is some bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? And again, this is all about niggas not doing their due diligence and, man, giving away their power. Like, it shouldn't even have to be that. Like, you giving your power already by, like, buying somebody a fucking plane ticket to come see you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this whole shit or whatever just makes no sense to me or whatever. Just like, why are you even bringing sand to the beach in the first place? If I'm in Vegas or whatever, I'm not about to be paying for no bitch's plane ticket to meet me out in Vegas if, one, I've already hit her. Two, if I haven't hit her and it's somebody else from another town or whatever. Like, I'm either going to come see you in your city, or if you in my town or whatever, we hook up that way. We gonna arrange to meet up in one of those cities. I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, well, I'm about to go out to Vegas with all them bitches out there or whatever, and I'm on the hunt, but I'm gonna fly some pussy in. Either some guaranteed pussy or some hopeful pussy. That just don't make any sense. And all that time you wasting on that one, you missing out on the other joints that you could have had in Vegas. I don't understand how this is like a concept that niggas ain't grasping or whatever, unless you ain't been out there on the streets. And maybe some of these niggas need to get out on the streets and experience shit or whatever. And don't be afraid to like, you missing out on some pussy everywhere. Like, stop putting the pussy on the pedestal like this is 40-year-old virgin. Stop putting it on a pedestal and thinking that this one girl's pussy is like the holy grail and you have to do everything in your power to make sure you don't lose it. Like, fuck out of here, man. Like, it's just, I just don't understand it. But I seen some shit up about James Harden talking about he cash apped the Saudi bitch, whatever. I don't know how you fucking pronounce the name. Saudi, the bitch that broke up with Quavo, cashed after $100,000 to go on a date. Now, nowadays, you don't know if it's true or not. You gotta question that shit, because the entertaining niggas, these niggas are tricks. They are Johns. They be quick to try to spend some money on a bitch. For what? Getting these bitches' bodies done. All this shit. Yes, you have the money, but that still doesn't mean that it's not tricking. You don't need to do that shit. Like, again, you're James Harden or whatever, and you can say, oh yeah, she is a celebrity bitch or whatever, but like, why do you have to give her money to go out on a date with you? That's what you want to do. Like, you be like, oh, I'm James Harden. Like, the fuck you flying bitches out for or whatever. Like, again, people gonna say you ain't in that world or whatever, so you can't speak or whatever, but been around in the circles or whatever, you feel what I'm saying, to an extent or whatever. And like I said, I just know that I don't give a fuck how famous you are, how much money you got. You can get pussy for free. Any type of pussy you want for free. You don't have to pay for it. It's not a cost, and it shouldn't be an expectation that you gotta do all this to get some fucking pussy out of bitch. You gotta get her hair and nails done, buy a Birkin bag, and now you got these regular bras that be on that groupie shit, and because these niggas giving away the power, they setting the expectation like, oh yeah, well, all these niggas that I meet gotta get me a Birkin bag, and if you ain't get me a Birkin bag, you ain't on my level. You need to get on my level. And then now you got these lying ass, regular ass niggas out here that be trying to make it seem like they getting more money than they really is, and doing more than they really is, for no fucking reason, trying to keep up. All you gotta do is just keep it real. Be like, look, man, I'm just a regular nigga. I should be able to get you off of my looks and how I carry myself. Shouldn't be getting no pussy out of you just because I say I'm gonna take you out on a date to a fancy restaurant, or I'm gonna fly you in to a fucking vacation and shit. And like I said, most of these sucker niggas just be giving the power away, and bitches know that they can play with a nigga and be like, yeah, well, I can get a free vacation or free trip or free meal out this nigga and not have to fuck. And then when you start coming up with this bullshit or whatever, like you try to tiptoe around the shit for some pussy, then she gonna be like, well, we just friends. And then half of you niggas gonna be like, okay, I'll wait. I'll be in the friend zone. This is fucking ridiculous. And then, like I said, these bitches have done it so many times, they gonna feel like they gonna keep pushing the line. So like they gonna try these on all niggas. And then it's gonna take one nigga to put them in their place or have them stranded or some other shit, and then they gonna change their tune. But it shouldn't even have to go to that or whatever. So I just don't understand it, man. Like, these niggas out here really gotta stop with this tricking shit, man. Like, again, I'm glad I'm on the porch, but I used to encounter a lot of bras that used to try me on that shit or whatever, and I'm like, it's not happening. It's not happening. She used to anger me, man, and once you see the signs on how these bras is, and like certain things, they'll start asking her, like, where you work at, what do you do for a living. They want to see how much money you make. They want to test you or whatever and see what you're doing, to see if you got that lifestyle that can be like, oh yeah, I can get some money out this nigga. And all you got to do is just be like, man, look, keep it real, man. Like, I ain't get no money. It shouldn't be dick plus food, or dick plus a vacation trip, or dick plus a plane ticket. Pussy is not higher value than dick. So I just don't get it, man. Like I said, it's like pussy everywhere, man. Like, niggas gotta stop giving away their power, man. And I'm gonna make another video later on describing when this tricking shit really got out of control, man. Because I mean, it's really gone crazy, but it was a point where it didn't used to be like this. It didn't used to be like this. Like, they was still tricking and people used to trick off or whatever, but it was just like, all right, you know what I mean? These bitches now is empowered, man. And like I said, they hit niggas with these gypsy moves, all because niggas ain't getting no pussy and they ain't out here on the streets and they ain't got no experience, man. If you got experience and you've been out and about in these circles or whatever, and you know what's up, you already know what time the shit, you know, to avoid the bitches that's asking for drinks. And you know that, like, you got two type of bitches. Like, you got a bitch that is on that, all right, well, I can fuck way more bitches than, like, if I start buying drinks and taking them out or whatever. Like, yeah, but that, you gotta have some type of moral or ethic code or something, man. You gotta stand for something. Where it's like, nah, this don't need to be. I'm not gonna take the cheap route out. Sometimes that shit ain't worth it. But you got some bitches that's they will fuck you if you get them a drink. You know what I mean? And you got to have some discipline in yourself and be like, look, man, I don't need to do all that. I mean, this bitch right here, yeah, she might look good or whatever, but there's another broad that look just as good as her, or, you know, whatever, that I can fuck without buying a drink. Simple. But then you got the other bitches that will not fuck you and have no intention on fucking with you at all, but still will just try to get at you for some monetary shit. And some of these niggas just don't be recognizing that shit, man. And now it's harder and harder because, like I said, these gypsies is real emboldened and empowered, man. And it's just like, man, just avoid all that shit from the beginning, man. And y'all niggas will be all right. But just because you got it doesn't mean that you aren't still tricking. And niggas gotta stop that shit, man. So, I mean, I wish niggas would stop with this flying bitches out shit or whatever. Like, it's just crazy, man. Like, I seen this battle rapper Sue Surf or whatever. Like, he got up, he put this tweet out about some broad or whatever. He flew out to Miami. I'm like, why are you flying a bitch out to Miami? Like, it's clear. A lot of these celebrity niggas, rappers, entertainers, whatever, they were not doing, because you gotta think about it, right? If you was out there like that or whatever, do you feel that a broad would fuck with you if you didn't have all the money and the fame and all this shit? And if your answer is no, then you gotta just say to yourself, well, okay, I know what she want. Is it really worth it for me to give it to her? You still have power. You still have to recognize your power. So it's like, all right, she only fucking with me because of the fame and the money, whatever. But that don't mean you have to give it to her. They just they just fucking with you. They'll fuck with anybody that got money and fame. Period. So now you got to use that to your advantage. It's like chess. You don't have to be, oh, well, it's nothing. It's a bill. I'll buy her a Birkin bag. Flight to Miami's only $500, whatever the fuck. That's crazy. Use your power. Don't lose it. Don't give that shit away. And then if you was getting pussy before, and if you saying that you was getting pussy before all this fame and entertainment and all this shit or whatever, were you out here spending money on these bitches? Because if you weren't and you were still getting pussy, I mean, why would you do it now? And then if you're still saying, yeah, I was still spending money on women or whatever, that means you were just a bona fide trick from the jump. And it's still wrong. Somebody should have taught you better. You should have had a big homie or uncle or something, whatever, that wasn't on that trick shit, that was on some real nigga shit, that ever told you that ain't it, chief. The fuck? It's crazy, man. But I mean, flying me out to Miami and going on these, that's crazy. You know how many bitches in Miami? Wow. And then the joint he flew out to serve, the joint he flew out was busted. Wasn't even bad. Like, I mean, like, it's Instagram bitches everywhere, whatever. Like, I get it if you don't want to go through the whole hassle. Like, yeah, well, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm just, man, I'd rather, again, I'm not a celebrity nigga, but I would just, if it was me, if I knew this bitch lived in California or whatever, say she lived in Oakland, I got enough money, I would just go to Oakland. Not flying her out and like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm up here, whatever, I got a hotel, come through to my hotel. Simple. Why do you have to fly her out to Miami and then it ain't like she's staying with you. You flying her out and then booking her a separate hotel. She ain't even staying with you. She could have did that on her own. And then even if you was like, all right, I'm gonna fly out, but she's staying with me, that'll be a little bit better. That still would be on some loafing shit, which I'll get into another day. But you know you ain't gonna do that because you know you wanna be trying to fuck other bitches, so you're gonna be stuck with that one bitch, and you ain't gonna do it. Which makes sense, but it's like, for all that, why fly her the fuck out? But niggas just don't be understanding, and then now it's just to the point where it's irritating, where now it's niggas that's like campaigning for this shit. It's like, oh, well, if you ain't flying a bitch out, then you must be broke. No, nigga, we just smart. Like, niggas is really normalizing spending money and tricking off on bitches like it's the hot shit. Like, it's the normal thing. And if you're not doing it, that you're broke. So you got niggas that's out here thinking like that. You already know there's bitches out here that's on that shit. So either they put it in a bitch's head, or a bitch just convinced them that that's the new shit and they just falling for it. Either way, it's a fucking problem. So in my opinion, tricking, it is tricking if you got it. Don't matter if you rich or poor, or you know you doing okay. You shouldn't be doing that shit. Niggas gotta stop that shit. Put your foot down when bitches try you with the fucking move, man. You know what I mean? And if bitches really trying to the trick, get you to trick off or whatever, and it gets to a point where you get super frustrated, sometimes you gotta teach these bitches lessons. So if it's a situation where you gotta you know what I mean, bitch is so pressed on going to a fucking restaurant, go to eat, go ahead and take her to the restaurant. You ain't gotta pay. Hit her with the move. You eat, that don't mean you gotta pay. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. You can use your imagination. If you want more questions about that or whatever, hit me on the inbox or whatever. Whoop de whoop. I don't want to give too much of the game away. You know what I mean? That's all you can do, man. But niggas gotta stop this tricking shit or whatever. I ain't gonna get too much into it, but I mean, everything I'm saying is pretty self-explanatory, man. If y'all want more commentary on it or whatever, let me know in the comments or whatever. And you know what I mean, let me know what y'all think, man. So, you know what I mean, I'm signing out till another day. Probably getting into some more shit, probably talk about this loafing pandemic or whatever, and all this shit too, and just start talking more about this shit that niggas need to hear, man. Not this whole, hey, if you ain't buying me a Birkin bag, you broke, you poor, you ain't shit, and oh yeah, well, you a cheap nigga. And man, listen, man, if me being considered a cheap nigga is a bad thing, I'll take it. As long as I'm still getting pussy. Because they still gonna fuck you regardless. Half of these niggas that's saying that they got and they doing all this ain't got no money anyway. And y'all need to be saving that shit anyway, because it's just like not worth it to be spending it off on no bitch. And I guarantee you, the majority of these bitches y'all spending money on is another nigga that's hitting them for free. So I'm out of here. Still on the porch or whatever, you know what I mean? Y'all stay safe out there on them streets, man. Like I said, move with some motherfucking some wisdom, be smart, you feel what I'm saying? And hopefully y'all get these gems, man, and start thinking about some of the shit what y'all doing when y'all out in these streets dealing with these gypsy bitches. I'm out.